And the GOP's new scare tactic. Democrats say thousands of new IRS agents will replace retirees and improve customer service. Republicans warn of agents, strike forces, even SWAT teams hunting you down. Up next for us, the IRS is getting a huge cash infusion, including thousands of new agents. Republicans say you should be nervous. Republicans have a new villain ahead of the midterm elections, the Internal Revenue Service. The agency will receive $80 billion over the next decade. That thanks to the Democrats' new spending bill. Now, the Treasury Department says this cash infusion is long overdue and will allow the tax agency to modernize antiquated technology and, yes, hire new agents, which the Treasury Department says will focus on high-income earners and corporations who tend to aggressively use tax loopholes. Republicans say don't believe it. Their evidence includes a now deleted job posting that said agents must be, quote, willing to use deadly force if necessary. That posting has been revised. It now says agents must be legally allowed to carry a firearm. Still, the Republican attacks are constant.
Biden and Pelosi are currently weaponizing the IRS with 87,000 new armed IRS agents that are readily available to use deadly force.
They are arming up the IRS like they're preparing to take Fallujah.
Those IRS agents are designed to come after you. They're not designed to come after the billionaires and the big corporations.
87,000 new IRS agents to go after you and audit you.
Great reporters are back with us. Again, the Treasury Department says that is ludicrous. They say they're hiring 87,000 new agents, but 50,000 are expected to retire over the next 5 years. So they say, number one, they need more staff, and number two, this will just keep static for the 50,000. They say they have 10 million cases backlog, overhaul technology, improve taxpayer customer service, but those change, the hirings haven't taken place yet. The changes haven't taken place yet. So in some ways, it's kind of T-ball for Republicans. And back to your point, Republican fear, suspicion about the quote-unquote deep state or anything Washington.
I remember getting a fundraising text to my phone that was saying, like, first there's the raid on Trump, then the IRS, and then they're coming for your guns. I mean, it's just kind of refrigerator magnets of fear, and you put all the words together and then say, send money here. And I think that that's something people really need to be aware of. This is not a policy discussion about the IRS, right? This is, again, positioning a government agency as the big bad. And I don't think that's so far out of line for a party that has always believed in small government.
And a party that, look, midterm elections are mostly, again, we'll see if this one breaks the rules, right? We had a high turnout in 2018 in addition to the presidential campaign. But it's about turning out your base. And if you look at this polling and the IRS approval rating, you can see the IRS approval rating among everybody is down from 2019. But it's especially down among Republicans and independents. But, you know, if you're Republicans, you're trying to gin up your base, right? Here come Biden and the Democrats. Now they're going to audit you. To Audie's point, they're going to come for your guns.
Right. And, you know, it's for the people at home to take a beat and to really get some reputable news sources to understand what's really happening so that some of this misinformation and the political talking points, they understand the counterpoint. You know, there's nothing changing within the mission of the IRS. So if you've ever been on hold for an hour, if you've ever had paperwork that took forever to be processed, then you may want the IRS to get some more money so that they could be more efficient. If you believe that corporations and wealthy individuals should not be able to take advantage of tax loopholes and pay, you know, a lesser percentage in taxes than middle income people, then you might want the IRS to have a little bit more money to do its mission.
The challenge is, you know, Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, has had to put out these statements essentially saying no, 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 absolutely no. That's not what we're doing here. But in a political environment, it's often said it's a cliche, but sometimes true. If you're explaining, you're losing.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's true here. And I think it's clear that Democrats gave Republicans a cudgel with which to use to gin up their base. I think the flip side of it, and you know, the challenge from a political perspective for Democrats will be to cast it in a different light. I mean, they're there to say we're doing this because corporations like the oil companies, which they are very quick to point to as boogeymen, basically, are out there to get you. And so we're out there to get them. We're not out here. You know, but I think the challenge is getting people to believe you, right? It's tough.
Believe you about the IRS, of which many people are somewhat suspicious. That's why campaigns are interesting.